This quilt is stitched with pieces you usually toss. It's strips of fabric that are less than ½ an inch. It's a selvage quilt. Lori Allred is here to educate us on this quilting method. It's great to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
This is beautiful, first of all. The color and the interest is so cool. What do you love most about this style of quilt, Lori?
I love that you don't have to be, quilting's all about precision and exactness, and I love this technique doesn't require that. Anyone that can sew on a sewing machine can pick this up and put together a beautiful quilt with a lot of visual interest.
Okay, now selvage isn't a word I say every day. What is a selvage?
Selvage is the beginning and end of a fabric. It comes along the side of all fabrics. It's where it stops and starts.
The white part?
When they're manufacturing it.
Oh.
It's the part that's finished, so it won't fray on that point. Some do have a little bit of a fray. Some are straight like this one.
Do you have a preference, straight versus fray?
Nope, I like the fray. It gives
like
a little
fray?
texture.
Yeah, with the want to touch it.
Yeah.
Want to cuddle with it, want to cozy with it. What makes a good selvage then, in addition to the texture?
Oh, just anything. I love selvages with color. Look how fun these are, where they've got the color marking from manufacturing.
Oh, look at that, yeah.
Now, 1 out of 10 quilters might save these. The majority of us will trim this off the fabric, toss it in the trash.
Right.
So I love that this is a way to kind of bring that back. You can create fabric with it, cut it up into different pieces and make some really visually interesting quilts. This one was super easy and fun to put together.
This is so cool, but now hold on, how many pieces would I need to make a quilt?
Actually, only about a gallon-sized bag full of selvages is what made that quilt. Believe it or not, they go forever, and I have them all over my quilt room. They're messy.
You're hanging on to them, though. You're for this purpose.
True.
And do you need a certain length, or as we're cutting and storing, what should we consider?
I like to keep my selvages about 1 inch thick, so I still get a little bit of the color of the original fabric. And then anything, I have done them as small as a ½ inch. Some selvages don't have that white. It's just the finished edge of the fabric. And I can trim it to size or sew over it. Gives me a little bit of, as far as length, I'll take whatever. I don't usually do anything smaller than 6 inches.
Okay.
I don't have space for that, so.
Girl's got a store.
Yeah, we got a store.
She's got a store.
Right.
So width is not as important. Length can vary too, but give yourself a little buffer is what I'm hearing you say on the side. Okay, talk us through the process. This is so cool.
So this, once you've trimmed them off, you're going to just pull them out. So on these blocks that create this really fun X, it is super easy and fun. This is just what one of the blocks looks like when it's finished, right there.
Oh, how cool is that?
Super easy. We're top stitching right onto the fabric. You need a base, so it can be a muslin. I love because we're showing that fabric. We're stitching straight on to the block. So super easy technique. We're going to mark our fabric 1 inch in on one side, 4 inches on the outside. And then just start sewing our selvages on here. I've got one selvage top stitch down. I'll keep doing that.
Are you overlapping as you go?
Yep, overlapping, so I get that finished edge. And then you just keep going. Look how much fun.
It gets better and better with every strip.
Right, and look how fun with that shaggy part, and then you've got stars here, little ambulance trucks there. I just love all of they're so interesting to look at because they're so different.
You're not even worried about color or palette. It's like throw it all on there.
I have some Mario Kart here.
I saw that.
I've got some camo there. And then we did it at the top as well. This one's not trimmed down, so when you turn it over, you can see the edge, and then you trim it down. You get this beautiful block.
Look at this. And how do you go about choosing the base fabric?
Whichever color speaks to you. So red is my color. And so I decided to put big red X's on this quilt.
Okay, so X's, and then I'm sure you could do a variety of patterns and shapes.
Right. Oh, there are so many fun ideas out there. So don't, even our experienced quilters don't consider using selvages. They all save them. They don't know what to do with them. So as far as where to get them from if you don't have enough, just ask your quilting friends. I guarantee. I asked a few of my friends, and pretty soon I had this giant tote full of selvages.
So really, quilters will hang on to it even if they don't.
Yeah, we're sentimental.
Well, sentimentality, and then inside I think every good creative is a little bit of a hoarder that we celebrate.
Quilters are the worst. We are the worst.
The best of the worst. And at the end of the day, as you finish a quilt, a selvage quilt, is it like relief that you've used the gallon-sized bag?
Absolutely.
Or do you get sad ever? Like, oh, I got to start over?
No, not really, no. And we just keep storing them in pretty jars.
That does make a cool little collection.
So you got this really nice jar, and
Yeah.
you can pull them out as you need them and do fun things. I've seen some amazing bags made with them, and my fun pillow here was super quick. I threw that together the other night just for another visual.
So it doesn't have to be a full quilt even, but take on those smaller projects.
Right, and I tell everyone this is a great for a beginner all the way up to more advanced quilters.
It sort of reminds me of my grandma had a very bold but eclectic style.
Oh, yeah.
That eclectic feel is so attractive, I
Right.
think. Even if it's not your personal style, to throw this on a couch and just mix it up, and the personality it brings to a room is so cool.
Oh, for sure. And I absolutely love how, that's actually for my husband.
Is it?
Yes, he was actually watching me put this together, and he's like, it's kind of a cool quilt. If you put Minky on the back, I wouldn't mind it. Which he's never asked for a quilt before, so I was thrilled.
That says everything.
Right.
If he's claiming dibs and Minky behind.
Right. The first time I find it on the floor, though, I'm confiscating it back. It's not his anymore. So.
Oh yeah, once the Minky went on, he was
this yummy black Minky on the back.
Oh, that's awesome. Full claim ahead. And tell what's your husband's name?
Kirk.
Kirk, don't put it on the floor.
Don't put it on the floor.
Lori's
don't
coming
let the
back
dogs
for
lay
it.
on it.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, where can we go to find more from you, Lori?
Definitely follow me on Instagram at allreddesign.net. Or just Allred Design.
Allred Design on Instagram. We'll link you over. Thank you for explaining and showing and sharing your talent.
Thank you for having me.
So fun to see.